Welcome to Shrinking with Kerry, the channel where I have to do my intro 50 times, but you only have to watch it once. And I invite you to join me on my journey to win back my health and be fit by 52. And maybe you don't have to lose weight. Let me pause to envy you. Imagining it. But I'm happy for you. Maybe you have other goals that you want to reach. I hope I can inspire you in some way. And for those of you who are also on your journey to shrink yourselves and be healthy, I'm really happy that you're here. And I hope that the success that I have can be yours too, because I firmly believe that you can weigh whatever you want. First and foremost, let me tell you all, you have no idea what you can do. You have no idea what your potential is. I know this because I had to learn for myself to not have that wall of impossibility. A lot of us put limits on what we can do. And for those of us with low self-esteem, not going to get too philosophical here, but for those of us with low self-esteem, we tend to think the things that we want are impossible and closed off to us, and a happiness that other people have while we struggle to get through the day maybe sometimes. A lot of you are probably here because you do have chronic fatigue, and you know what it is like to not have energy. So with that in mind, I'll give you my current stats. I'm going to do weigh-in Wednesdays, but Sundays is a big day for me to start the week, reflect, and look where I've come and prepare. This is a great, nice, rainy Sunday, which I really like. And where I'm at is this. This morning, as of this morning, I weigh 223. That is a 9-pound weight loss since I started over 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. This channel has not been going that long. I only put my first video up the other day, but when I started on this healthy lifestyle, changing my eating habits, my relationship with food, I had to go into sort of a cocoon. I had to say only that is what I'm going to focus on and live for at this time. I had no energy. I mean, it was getting really bad. I say it was as bad as it could get. Hang on, coffee break. But I had no energy. And I needed to just focus on changing what I was eating, detoxing from the sugar and the carb merry-go-round. And I asked my husband to really support me and allow me to withdraw and not do my usual hausfrau duties and lean on him, because I'm definitely somebody who likes to nurture the people in my life and take care of them. I had a traditional mom that way, and those roots run deep. I just really like to take care of the house, take care of my family, and I needed to lean on him. And he's always there for me to lean on if I ask, you know, and sometimes when I don't ask, but usually I have to ask. And I said, listen, I can't do the things I normally do. Just allow me to check out. Allow me to be, be in bed. Please help me, don't, have these kinds of foods around me right now. And if I don't feel like making dinner, fend for yourself. And he was amazing. He was very understanding because he doesn't want to lose his wife. I mean, I told him, I'm going to die of beaties if I don't get this under control. If I don't control the one thing I've never been able to control, I'm going to die. No joke. Or lose my eyesight. And there's no way my husband can take care of a blind woman. As it is, I almost kill myself on the stairs. Could be an assassination attempt. I always tell my girlfriend, listen, he is going to kill me, and I watch a lot of crime shows, so I'm going to tell you right up front, it was an accident. It was definitely an accident. It's going to look like he tried to do it, but he's just going to accidentally burn the house down or leave a shoe on the stairs. My husband has ADD. So he's going to do something that will get me killed. You've heard it here, folks. I'm probably giving him an out, and that could be bad, but I trust him. So my friend will sometimes call and go, you're alive? You're okay? Did he burn the house down? No, he didn't. He didn't leave the oven on again. He didn't burn the house down. I changed the filter on the furnace. I checked for the carbon monoxide detectors and stuff. All the stuff my dear husband thinks happens by magic and never worries about. But he's a saint. He's a saint, so we'll forgive him. You got to take the good with the bad. And never try to change him. But back to changing me. Back? Did I say back? I'm B-word fat. So 223 is a huge number. It's a big number. But you know what? I got to start taking pictures of the scale, which I will do on Wednesdays. I'll do a weigh-in where you actually see my bootsies on the scale and you see that number. I feel like that would be nice. Drum roll. I have a feeling I will be lighter by Wednesday. If I'm not, that's okay. Sometimes we plateau. The important thing is I'm doing everything right. So that's where I'm at in terms of weight. Now, how am I physically? How do I feel? A little better. Even put a little makeup on. This is Lorac, by the way. I still don't have my light, but I will get it. My studio light. This is Lorac eyeshadow that I absolutely love. And you can't see it because the lighting is so terrible, but it really went on beautifully. So much so that I had to grab my Slay All Day setting spray from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the PR that I got. And I sprayed it because it was like, stay. As soon as you get your makeup where you want it, you just spray it, and this stuff smells so good. Why not another spritz to freshen up? The first time I got this, I did PR. You probably know, most of you here, that I have another channel called Nosy Hausfrau, which I will link below. And I got this in PR. And the first time when I watched myself spraying it on camera, I was laughing so hard because I was like, no, not as, oh, don't spray right into my coffee. That smells so good. That's the Dreamsicle. And they also have, I have it right here next to my makeup thing. This one, which is like a chocolate, like a peppermint patty, chocolate mint. Very nice too. But it's not, I love it, but not as much as the other one. And that's probably true when it comes to eating food. I prefer Dreamsicles to your peppermint patties. So how am I doing? This is what I'm going to go over on Sundays and Wednesdays at the very least. And I'll probably do some in between because it's good for me to log this and vlog this history. But I want to talk about how I am physically, what the number is, how do I feel, am I hungry? So how am I physically and then emotionally? So I want to cover all of those things for you because those are probably things that people on their personal journey are contending with as well. And it's important to take stock. Like I said, I have this daily swing. So I wake up in the morning. I have to set myself up for success. Did I get the right sleep? That's the first thing. Did I get the right sleep? And I get hydrated right away. I have coffee in the morning, but I also have water. Sometimes my breakfast is a shake, and I will share with you some of these delicious shake recipes. I have a Vitamix that I love and is probably going to be essential in helping me on this journey. But I've had it for a while. My husband and I bought it for an anniversary for ourselves. So, how am I feeling emotionally? Better. I mean, it's really kind of true across the board. I'm feeling a little better. My sugar is down 100 points. This morning, it was 202, but it was much higher. Before I started this, my sugar had shot up into the 400s, which is not good. You can't live like that a long time. Emotionally, I feel much better because something you don't realize when your sugar gets high is that you change. Your brain chemistry is different with the sugar that you're dealing with in your system, and so you can be more agitated. I thought these things were menopause. It's partially that, I'm sure. I'm in peri, or Kerry menopause as I call it. Dealing with that is difficult because you feel agitated, you feel tired, you feel confused. I'm starting to misplace so many things, like feeling like I had dementia. It's bad. It was as bad as it could get, and I may never have my faculties back the way they were. That's just the way time marches on. But I can undo a lot, and I can prevent a lot of damage. So this is, I can't even stress how critical this is. More than anything, it is about my health, more than vanity. Although I would love to do a lot of the things that I put off because of being heavy. And I don't know how many of you do that, but we always think we're waiting for something. When this happens, then I can enjoy life. When I have this job or this money, and when I weigh this much, then my life can begin. Meanwhile, it's flying by. I had those thoughts when I was 16. By the time I'm 18, I'll be thinner. And I was only like 10 pounds overweight in high school, but you know, that's huge. And you have these thoughts that when I get thin, I can start having a life. People will look at me. I'll look better. People won't be mad at me. Just these weird, stupid thoughts that put off your life. And then you see people like Loie Lane who are living their best life and not putting a requirement on themselves to be a size 6 or, you know, smaller, a size 0, as a lot of people are. In Vancouver, let me tell you, I had to really search for a big girl store. Thank you so much, Additionelle. I had to follow fat people, like there's 2 of them, because everybody's Asian and they're all really, really tiny. But I digress. Yeah, that was a great store at Deschanel. I was so glad to find that. Anyway, I don't want to put off life because of that. Some things it makes a little sense to not do. Like, I don't feel comfortable getting on a horse, and I really love horses so much. I used to walk so many miles as a kid just to get to pet and ride this horse that these rich people said I could ride. His name was Sarge. I loved him. And my biggest fear about getting on a horse was that it would roll on me, because they'll roll if they look down and they don't know you, and they don't like you, and you're not in charge. They'll look down and kind of roll. That's exactly what Sarge did. The first time I got on him, he's like, all of a sudden I feel myself sinking down. We're walking along a trail with the other riders, and I just feel him sinking down. I jump off, and they're like, just get him and catch up to us. I'm like, so I was alone with somebody's horse, which to me could have been worth $1 million for all I know. I'm like 14. And every time I took a step towards Sarge, he'd take a step away. And take a step toward me, took a step away. And finally I said, if you don't get over here right now, you're going to the glue factory. And I just took charge. And he just walked right up to me. I'm like, okay. And we had a better relationship after that. And then I realized what the horse could sense in me and that relationship. And I began to love horses. And the people who owned him said I could exercise him anytime I wanted, because I did a cool down with him, where I walked him after I rode him. Anyway, those are the things that I put off. I used to do ballroom dancing. When I was a young girl, when I was about 13 years old, I was an Irish step dancing champion. I was in 2 feshers. I won 2 first place medals. I was good. I loved it. I walked everywhere. I rode bikes. I was very active. And now I keep thinking, well, I can do this or do that once I lose weight. And when I do go out in public, it's just something you're told, is that you have to hide yourself if you're a bigger person. And there's a prejudice that is absolutely allowed. It is the last vestige of horrible people is to mistreat fat people. And it's allowed. It's a socially acceptable thing to do, to mistreat people who don't look the way, the media says they should. So I have not been doing the living I should be doing. And I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone before I'm the weight I think I have to be acceptable. I'm going to accept myself right now, because that was something I learned when I lost 59 pounds. And if you're new here, I lost 59 pounds. I had just gotten under 200, and then I put 32 back on. And now I'm down to 223. So I'm still much thinner than I was when I weighed 259. I think that was the most I weighed. I was in Vancouver and I weighed myself, and at that time I just stopped weighing myself. So I've stayed at this weight for a while. When I lost, over the course of a year, I lost 59 pounds, injured myself, started thinking I could just get back into it if I wanted to, and it started slipping into old habits. It has taken me so long to get back into this place that I'm in, where I just lost 9 pounds, that I will never let go of this feeling. I'm not going to allow myself to slip, because I know how hard it was to get back here. Thankfully, I seem to have some muscle memory with it. I have diabetes, I'm 51, and I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So if I can lose weight, anybody can lose weight. Don't think the following: my body is going to betray me, it won't let me lose weight. I won't be able to do it, I'll be too hungry. Those things are not true. It's hard for us to believe, because if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Nobody wants to be overweight. Well, some weird people might, but nobody wants to be overweight. Life is better when you're smaller. It just is. Life is better when you're thinner. You look better, you feel better, you're healthier, in my opinion. Now, that is not a blanket statement about everybody. I'm not a doctor, and yes, some people claim to feel wonderful at 300 pounds. I don't know how they do, because bad food makes me sick and has made me so sick. So I don't really understand how people over 300 pounds can have energy. But some people claim to be fine at that weight. I tell you what, I think I'd probably be in a wheelchair, because lately, at 51 years old, I have found that it's not as simple as, being younger and just being bigger. I think people who are big and say they feel fine, they're probably younger. I don't know anybody in their 50s over 300 pounds. Do I even know anybody? I knew one person, and she was very sick. My friend Eric was very big at 52. He died. He died of diabetes. And we were friends since I was 16, and that was a few years ago now. But that came as a great shock. He was having diabetic complications. He had gotten very big. His dad was very big. And they had to remove some of his toes. And I mean, your body starts dying. Your body starts dying while you're alive when you have diabetes. It's that serious. And he was having some problems. He was laying in bed. He got up from bed after being bedridden for a little bit and just took a breath and passed away in his home, where we used to have pool parties and have a wonderful time. And it was so sad. I still can't believe it sometimes. I think like I can talk to him and he's gone. I have had a few friends pass away. One of my friends was murdered, and that's a video for another time. Nobody knows that. I've never said that online, that I had a friend who was murdered in his own place of work, by the way. And we were friends. I was better friends with his brother, but we all lived together at one point. So there's no reason to stop your life. If anybody should know that, it's people who've lost people. Being overweight is not a reason to not do some living, right? What is it you want to do? Do it. What is the fear that people are going to look at you or laugh at you or say that you're fat? So what? I want to enjoy myself. And that begins now. So I think that if you find you stop feeling ashamed about being overweight, it doesn't become this wall of impossibility. Never allow yourself to feel shame. So that's the daily mantra. No shame, no fear. And no hunger, obviously, because we're not going to be hungry. When we're hungry, we're going to eat something. It's just going to be good for us. As far as hunger goes, I'm far less hungry. I'm not hungry at all right now. And the big thing is the thirst. When my sugar was very high, I was so thirsty all the time. And I was drinking diet soda, which I think kept me thirsty as well. Right now, I don't feel hungry at all. When I first started this, I was hungry at night a couple times. But I said, tough. Go to bed. You can have a nice breakfast when you get up. You're hungry because you're up late. You know, sometimes that's a problem. If you have trouble getting to bed or you have to take medication or something, do it, because you will feel better for sleeping. And, you know, when you wake up, I'm generally not hungry. A lot of people are not hungry the moment we wake up. So I try to hydrate first, stretch, you know, and then I'll have, you know, after I'm awake for a few minutes and maybe half an hour, I'll start to prepare something to eat. But I like those quiet moments, and I have to stretch in the morning because otherwise I just feel like, ugh, horrible. So Wednesday I will show you my scale, and I'm going to down the road share some of the recipes with you. Basically, I'm on a plant-based, largely plant-based, but I'm a flexitarian. I like, once in a while I have a little meat. Not often though. I like tofu. I like meat products. Certainly don't want to get too political, but with what's going on in the Amazon, it's a good time to cut out meat. My guys like meat though. They're real carnivores, so I will probably still prepare meat at least a few times a week, but I'm trying to weed in other things like veggie burgers and things like that. I eat low carb, higher protein. I do allow fats because they're so important for keeping you satisfied and not hungry. And your brain needs fats, your body needs fats. You want to get those in there, and you'll find that yes, with fats you'll still lose weight. They're not the devil that they were purported to be when that came out. You know, we've been given a lot of bad information. I tend to think my mother would have taken better care of her diabetes if she had had access to the information that we have access to. So, thank you if you've watched this far. I'm trying to make these as structured as I can. I may wind up scripting my thoughts out more as I cover more information, and I want to lay it out for everyone else. But for now, this is where I'm at. I'm doing these casual vlogs where I talk about my weight loss journey, and I am feeling so much better already. After just 2 weeks, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's a really long, dark tunnel. And I really hope everyone else can get into that place where you're not having cravings. You're starting to win your energy back. Today was better than the other days. I mean, when I first started this, the first week my house was trashed from one end to the next, but I had to not worry about that. I had to just focus on getting through the day with no energy. And today I was able to clean my kitchen. I put laundry in. I started on my bathroom, although I have a lot to do in both bathrooms. There's an upstairs, downstairs. And I put in a corned beef and cabbage in the oven. That's gone. 3 hours left. It's a big brisket. My guys love it. Corned beef and cabbage is the food of my people. Why did I sound like the Lucky Charms guy? Sometimes I can do an Irish accent, sometimes I can't. And if I try to do a Scottish accent, it just veers right into Irish anyway. My son is crazy. He's like a parrot. Thank you for joining me for... Oh gosh, do I have cashews in my teeth? Sorry. Cashews and coffee. So, today... Oh, I just wanted to tell you really briefly what I had this morning. Because it was I started out in a low energy day, I had a Weight Watchers breakfast. I don't usually do those. I like to make my own food. I like to have an Ezekiel muffin with eggs or a shake. But today, in the interest of time and everything, I just had these Weight Watchers. They're the rolled up breakfast scramblers, not the scramblers. I'll put a picture of them up. This is what I had for this morning. And then I was not hungry and I was getting some housework done. So for lunch, knowing I'm going to have some corned beef later, for lunch I just had a banana with a little bit of peanut butter on it. And after that, I had some cashews with coffee. And it's 100-calorie cashew packs. I don't like using those because there was some more plastic, but I did want to see what a portion of them looked like, just 100-calorie portions. I like to have 2 or 3 snacks in the day, usually just 2, and they'll be about 200 calories or less for those snacks. One of them's before bedtime, so I don't liver dump. So I had that for lunch because I know later I'm going to have a bigger dinner with cabbage and carrots and a little bit of corned beef. And of course, the corned beef is what I will keep small. I'll keep it about the size of the palm of my hand, since that's just the size of your stomach as well as your heart. If you don't weigh your stuff like I don't, I find that I've got the right amount of ounces of meat. If it's about the size of the palm of my hand, it can be raised up a little bit. And I know I got big old German meat hooks, but the palm of my hand is roughly, I know that's about an okay amount of meat to have. And I like to keep the plate mostly vegetables and eat slowly, enjoy your meal, enjoy your family. And I hope the rest of you have a wonderful Sunday and are that much closer to whatever your goals are. Thank you for joining me and supporting me on mine. Till next time, bye-bye.